This is Fantasy Smack Talk. I'm Dustin, and this is your Week 5 Waiver Wire show. Plenty of people to talk about, so let's start with the must-adds in all leagues, and the first one's Ryan Terrain. He's only on in about 25% of leagues right now. We were never really that big on Hightower this year. We just didn't really like the Shanahan aspect of it, not knowing what he's going to do. Halou, we liked Halou. And Shanahan said he's going to go with the hot hand, and as of right now, that's Ryan Terrain. He looked great on Sunday. He's worthy of a great waiver number, probably even the #1 waiver in most cases. You got to pick up Terrain if he's available. Same with Ridley with New England. I talked about him last week as a must-add. Now he's even more of a must-add. Hopefully you scooped him already. He's still available in a ton of leagues, though. He's pretty much got it to a 50-50 timeshare with the law firm, but I think he continues to steal some carries from him. And I think by the end of the year, Ridley could be a great fantasy running back. Next, Kennel Hunter had a nice game on Sunday. He averaged about 10 yards per touch, but Gore did come back after not starting and had a great game. I still think Hunter is just purely a handcuff at this point, but he's a great handcuff for a guy that's very injury prone. But the thing is you know Hunter can handle it, and you know Hunter is going to be that guy if Gore goes down. So all you Gore owners, don't be caught without having Hunter on your team. If Gore goes down, you're going to regret it. Next, Mike Thomas out there in Jacksonville. Only on about 70% of leagues right now. He's a must-add in all leagues, I think, but especially in PPR leagues. I still believe in Mike Thomas this year. As the rookie gets a little bit better, more comfortable, Thomas is their best target on offense. I think he's going to still have a great year. One of my favorite sleepers coming into the year. He's starting to get things going a little bit. All right, let's talk about some guys to add in deeper leagues. And the first guy, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Brian Leonard's the guy to own if Cedric Benson misses any time. All you Bernard Scott owners, I think you drop Scott, pick up Leonard. I think Leonard will get the goal lines. He's going to catch some passes out of the backfield, and the Bengals have proven that they just don't think Scott can handle the load, and I just don't see them giving him a full workload. I think Leonard's the guy. All right, let's talk about some wide receivers. First one, Victor Cruz. I was a big Manningham believer coming into this year. It just hasn't happened. Cruz is having a breakout couple of games, and I think he's going to definitely steal some playing time from Manningham. Cruz is an add in a lot of deeper leagues, and some even more shallow leagues if you need help in wide receiver. I like him moving forward, unfortunately, because I do have Manningham in some leagues. Next, Greg Little. Not a lot going on with the Cleveland wide receivers and the Cleveland passing game, but Little could be kind of a guy to keep an eye on and add deeper leagues. He's a great young rookie receiver with a lot of talent. Decent game week 4. Hopefully he can keep putting up some solid games. Next, Antonio Brown. We talked about him last week. Only on about 30% of leagues right now. He's an absolute must-add in leagues that count return yards. But if you need help at wide receiver, he's quickly becoming the #2 target out there for the Steelers. Next, Darius Hayward-Bay. Just one of the Oakland receivers. There's so many of them out there, but Hayward-Bay, first round pick a few years back, hasn't really lived up to any of the hype, but he is slowly getting a little bit more involved with that offense. He's still a very talented receiver. He could get things going. Moving on, we got Steve Breston out with Kansas City. They showed some signs week 4 of maybe getting that offense going, and if they do, Breston's going to see a lot of single coverage, and he could have some decent games down the stretch. Next, Cincinnati's defense. It's hard to say it, but as of right now, as far as giving up yards per game, Cincinnati's D is #1 in the league. They got a matchup against Jacksonville and a rookie quarterback next week. I don't mind the Bengals as a pickup and play if you don't like your defense. Next week starts bye week, so if you got Witten or one of the Redskins tight ends, you might be looking for a tight end. I got a couple for you. Jared Cook. Great game. Only had 2 catches, but almost 100 yards and a touchdown. With Kenny Britt out, I think they're going to have to look at Cook just a little bit more. And if you saw that 80-yard touchdown, that did not look like a tight end running down the field. He is a very good, very athletic tight end. They got to find a way to get him involved. And another guy, Jermaine Gresham for the Bengals. They got Jacksonville, like we were saying before, week 5. I like that matchup for Gresham if you need a tight end to pick up and play for week 5 if you got bye week problems. A couple of IDP players, and that's Jeremiah Bell and Stephen Tulloch. They got off to kind of slow starts the first couple of weeks, but they've gotten things going since then. These guys are tackle machines if you're needing help. If you had Mayo, who's probably going to miss some games, if either these 2 guys are available, you're probably going to want to pick them up. So this is our Week 5 Waiver Wire show. As always, this is just a portion of the list. To see the full list, get onto the site. As always, get into those forums. If you got any questions, Brent and I will be answering a few of them on the site or on the homepage. They'll have the poll questions, and also Brent and I will be answering some on the weekly show, so be sure to tune in on that. We'll see you later this week.